Okay guys, we are going to be looking at bar graphs today and how they are different and similar to the pie graphs and circle charts we did last week. Okay, bar graphs have to have several things on them. First and foremost, I've got to have a title. My title tells me what the bar graph is about. So for this specific one, you will notice it's talking about the most popular fruit. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, I need to be able to see different things in my graph. So there's a couple different labels that have to be done besides my title. I'm going to have an x-axis, which is my horizontal left and right. And then I have my vertical, which is my y-axis. Okay, you must have both. On each one, you must label. So my x-axis is what's the information at the bottom telling me? And my y-axis is what is the height? What do the numbers on the left tell me? Okay. The scale is what you're counting by. Okay. This is no different than a traditional graph that you look at where you have to know what each line means. Okay. So that's what your scale is. The scale is your numbers. Okay. All right. Next thing you have are the actual bars. Well, the bars tell you how much is in each column. Okay, so for example, this one is grapes, and if I take the top of grapes and I follow it across, I can see I reached the number 5. So that means grapes stands for 5. Okay, one of the things that I want to make sure that you are doing when you are making and dealing with your own graphs is that you write on top of each one what they mean. For example, banana. If I go to the left, I can see banana is 10. Kiwi is next. Kiwi is at 25. So I'm just going to go through each of these and I'm going to write what numbers they stand for. Trust me, when you do this, it makes your life so much easier later because it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to find the numbers right there at your fingertips. Okay, so this is all about comparing numbers. The assignment you have for this week is you are actually going to make your own. So you're going to go to this website. There is a link to it in the instructions. And we are going to be looking right over here on the left side at design, data, labels, and preview. Okay, so you start with design, then go to your data, then your label, and your final is your preview. Okay, so we're going to start at design. Okay, first thing you need to do when you are designing, is you are going to look at your data. Here we go. All right, we are going to design a bar graph, and I get to pick, do I want it vertical, which means going up and down? This is vertical. Or do I want it horizontal? Horizontal, remember, is left and right. Okay. I do not care which one you pick. As a matter of fact, why don't we play and do both? All right. You can change the shapes of your graph. You can say that you want some of them to be maybe instead of just straight rectangles, you can do cylinders. You can do little triangles at the top. You can do rhombuses at the top. You can do a pattern on each one, whatever. You can then change your style, the background color, your grid color. You can make it 3-dimensional, 2-dimensional, completely up to you guys. This is where you get to have a little creative licensing. Okay, next one, we are going to look at inputting data. Okay, so design is done. Now you're looking at your data. Okay, so inputting your data, you must pick your labels. Okay, you must label them. If there are no labels, you will not get credit for it. Okay, for example, this one I am going to do time spent on video games. So listening to my kids play, etc. And I kind of went through and it's like, okay, how long did they actually spend on these stupid video games? So my x-axis, you will notice here, is the day of the week. My y-axis label is the number of hours spent. Okay, don't worry about the source. You don't need that at all. Okay, I'm going to have 5 items. If you want more than 5, that's fine. Don't worry about the group part either. It's not something you need. Okay, so we're going to keep going. On my items, I then have to list my items. So I've got items are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And my value are my numbers. Okay, so when I say my numbers, this is talking about the number of hours. That's where it comes back to. So on Monday, you've got 5 hours, Tuesday 3, Wednesday 7, Thursday 6, and Friday is 9. Then you have this little bottom part right here, this minimum maximum. Minimum maximum is talking about how tall is my graph going to go. So I want it to start at 0 and I want it to stop at 15. And then the graph is going to immediately fill in all these numbers all by itself. You don't have to worry about it. But you need to tell it a start and a stop point. Okay, then I go to finishing up with labels. Okay, my labels, I can change the color, I can change the font size, I can change what the font looks like. You can make it real squirrely like this. You can make it more blocky. Doesn't matter. I don't care what you pick one. Okay. Always, always, always show your labels. You must show your label. Okay. Again, no label, no credit. All right. Now we are going to switch to preview. Ba-boom, there you go. Okay, so you'll notice one thing I like about this program right here, it went ahead and gave you the numbers on top of each one of your bars. This is fantastic because you don't have to do it yourself. If it didn't have that though, again, all you would do is follow over, find where it reaches. If you look at Monday though, do you see how Monday does not hit the line perfectly? So you're kind of guessing what number that is. Well, if you don't know and you're completely guessing, you could guess wrong. So you've got to be really, really careful that you look, because each one of these little lines is actually 1.5. Okay, so it's not just 1, it's not 2. Each line is worth 1.5. So that's why this is 5, not 6 or 5.5 or 7. Okay. So again, this is what your final should look like. Last week we played with circle graphs. Well, if you go back into the main piece, instead of having a bar graph, you can switch to a pie graph. And I do want you to go back and do that as well for the same data. You do not have to change anything else, just the type of graph. It'll give you a warning that says, hey, this might change something. It's okay. Go ahead and do it. You are going to screenshot this piece. So you must screenshot this. Okay. And you are going to submit the screenshot of your bar graph and then change to your pie graph. And you are going to screenshot this as well. Okay. So you are going to screenshot both of these pages and submit them both. If you notice, when you switched over to the pie graph, here's Friday. Okay. And it tells you the number or the colors right here to the left. Here is your key. This right here is called a key. And your key is very, very important. That way you can say, okay, well, I know this is Thursday. This is Wednesday. This is Tuesday. This is, whoops, that does not look like an S. Sorry about that. And that is Monday. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Again, you are going to do a screenshot of both of these graphs and you will submit them both. Have a fantastic week. Yell at me if you need me.